Hi guys, my name is Mindy. Things are going to look a little bit different today for a few reasons. Number one, I did not go see an actual new movie today. And number two, I am not cleaning the theater tonight for a few reasons. Number one, it is the 4th of July. And although I would usually be working tonight, I am not going in because it is the 4th of July and I unfortunately have a dog who does not do very well with fireworks, so I am staying home to help her through her anxiety with that. So tonight we are kind of doing something a little different. We're going to do this video at home and talk about just a lot of different movie topics in general, not just the movie I went to see today, but upcoming releases, things that I'm looking forward to, excited for. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, the movie that I did go see today was the Backrooms Everything Must Go edition. It has an extra 15 minutes of footage at the end post credits. The extra 15 minutes of footage is like additional research footage from the team that was exploring the back rooms and is what takes place prior to the opening scene of the movie. I will say that the extra 15 minutes of footage, I really didn't think it added much. I really didn't think it was worth it. I am happy that I did go see the film a second time because I did enjoy it just as much as I did for the first run through. Next, we're going to go over the box office numbers for Friday. Number one, we had Minions and Monsters in its debut weekend with 16.4 million. Coming in at number two in its third weekend is Toy Story 5 with 13.7 million. Also in its debut weekend at number three, we have Young Washington at 7.5 million. Number four in its second weekend is Supergirl at 3.6 million. And rounding out the top five for Friday, we had Disclosure Day in its fourth weekend at 2.2 million. Next, we're going to talk about some upcoming movie releases. We have The Invite releasing next Friday, July 10th. That's A24's newest movie with Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. Also that weekend, we have Warner Brothers' Evil Dead Burn. Lee Cronin is handing over the director reins to French filmmaker Sebastian Vanacek for the next installment in the series. We also have Sony Pictures with Gail Daltrey and the Celebrity Sex Pass starring Zoe Deutsch and John Hamm. And Disney's live-action Moana starring Catherine Lagaia and Dwayne Johnson. The following weekend, July 17th, we have the long-awaited premiere of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey starring everyone. Just kidding. Kind of. We have Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and John Bernthal, just to name a few. If I named everyone in this movie, we'd be here all night. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. July 24th, we have Pinocchio Unstrung. Joining Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is the next horror reimagining of a classic fairy tale starring Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund. Also that weekend, we have Neon's newest premiere, Her Private House, starring one of my favorite up-and-comers, Sophie Thatcher. And July 31st, we have Sony Pictures' biggest release this month coming in at the end with Spider-Man Brand New Day, starring, of course, Tom Holland and Zendaya, which is going to be their second film pairing this month after The Odyssey. Next, we're on to streaming releases this month. We have on Tuesday, July 7th, Backrooms you can rent and buy on digital. Also, the same day, Tuesday, July 7th, we have Passenger, rent and buy on digital. Friday, July 10th, we have Faces of Death, releasing on Shudder. And if romance is your thing, or you're like me and you just love Micah Monroe and everything she does, also Friday, July 10th, we have Colleen Hoover's new one, Reminders of Him, streaming on Peacock. Now we're going to get into my watches for this past week. Obsession came out on digital on Tuesday, June 30th, which of course I bought the day that it was released and also watched that night and about two more times since then. Just as great as it was the first time, the second time. This is almost a perfect movie and I will never stop telling people to watch it. I officially completed my first anime series this week with Attack on Titan. This is now my favorite series of all time, bar none. I've already started a rewatch of it. I cannot stop talking about it. I'm completely obsessed. I want to do a whole separate video, just my thoughts on this show. It is so involved and it's so incredible. Like I said, I can't stop talking about it. And I'm now going to continue to watch more anime because of this show. Speaking of more anime, this is my next series that I started this week. I'm currently on episode 10 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And although it is much different than Attack on Titan, I am really loving it so far, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the series goes. Sunday nights at 9 p.m. are for House of the Dragon, and this season is coming in hot. It is a runaway train with no brakes. So if you have not hopped on this new season yet, I suggest that you do it now because it is only going to get better from here. Last night I watched this new release on Shudder called Touch Me. It was interesting, um, quite weird, but in a good way. I loved the banter that the two main characters had with each other. I would recommend it if you are looking for something very different to watch. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Also, this one, Dream Eater, had been on my watch list for a bit. I noticed it was on Shudder last night when I had finished watching Touch Me, and it was only an hour and a half, so I decided to give it a quick watch before I went to bed. I did quite like this movie. There were parts that I was scared, and I thought the premise was a bit original, interesting. It kept my attention through most of the movie. And I also gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It is a found footage movie. Just so you know, if you're not into that kind of thing, then you would probably want to skip this one. But if you're into it, then definitely give this one a watch. Undertone is currently on HBO Max. I believe it came out the week prior. I gave this one a rewatch finally after its theater run, and I actually think I enjoyed it more than the first time around. I liked being able to watch it at home with absolutely no interruptions, and it is. I love this movie. I know some people didn't, but I really thought that the sound editing was sounds even more amazing at home than it did in the theater that I saw it in. I just can't get over how scary this movie was. And personally, my opinion, think it was definitely has definitely been one of the scariest movies of the year so far. And to wrap it up, we're just going to touch on some quick movie news. There was a trailer finally released for Robert Eggers' Werewolf this week, and it looks incredible. Guys, I cannot wait for this film. Coming out on Christmas again this year, just like Nosferatu did the previous year. I cannot wait to see what Robert Eggers does with the werewolf lore, and this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And last but not least, we got an announcement this week that there is going to be a Blair Witch reboot releasing September 24th of 2027. That's all the news that's really been released on it so far. There was some controversy regarding an interview done with Heather Donahue, who was in the original Blair Witch. So if you're interested, look that up. I can try to find the original article and tag it in the comments down below. But basically, to sum it up, she had been asked to participate in this movie and she declined for reasons that involved reusing her character and her likeness, I guess, outside of the movie. Like I said, I'll try to find the article and read it, tag it down below. But if you're interested, you could also Google it. So that kind of makes me a little iffy about it, but we'll see where it goes. All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. Let me know if you like this format. If you do, then maybe it's something that I will try to throw in like an extra video during the week, just kind of running through some movie news, some upcoming films, some streaming releases, touch on what I watched during the week. If this is something that interests you, maybe give you more things to watch other than what's currently in theaters. Let me know, comment down below, please like and share, and have a great holiday weekend, everyone. Thank you. Love you. Bye.